Warning. This podcast may contain spoilers from whatever TV show or movie is mentioned. Please listen at your own discretion. Welcome to Viewers Anonymous.
All right, what's going on, people? This is the Viewers Anonymous podcast, and I am S. Foster. Starting a little different today. I ain't got my co-host with me, Scoots, going through some things right now, but he will be joining the stream soon. But got some guests on today from the All Docked Up podcast. I'll let them introduce themselves. Hey, Khris, you can start it off.
Okay. You just sorry. So you did this whole prep thing, and I'm still about to make it awkward. Hey guys, I'm Khris. I guess 1/3 of All Docked Up, also the solo host of Shenanigans with Friends, and I'll let it go from there.
I'm VJ. I guess another third of All Docked Up podcast. I also solo host a true crime podcast called Murder V Wrote, and occasionally co-host a podcast with a guy named Quentin called Chopping It Up with Q.
Mm-hmm. And then they're modest. I don't know why. My name is Penrose, and I'm dope as fuck. I'm the other third of All Docked Up. I also host Penrose versus Anybody anytime I get a collective thought long enough to feed y'all. I used to do a lot of inspirational shit on IG. I guess I still do. And I'm an armchair therapist, man. The world loves to tell me their problems. I'm like the one nigga that don't snitch. So unless it's my shit. I snitch about my shit all the time. That's weird. But anyway, I'm Penrose Eames.
That's what's up. Don't be my me and Scoop still trying to figure out. He always called himself the co-host, and I always say I'm the leader of this podcast. Like, nah, man, we started this as a partnership, so I was like, we two co-hosts. But so we got to treat, man, like I don't know. Well, obviously y'all do nothing but documentaries on All Docked Up, and this podcast we try to throw in documentaries, but apparently documentaries is like the best thing that we do because those are our highest played things. So today we are doing we are doing the HBO Max documentary Tina. And the funny thing about that is, so when I first seen it, I told my old lady about it, and she was like, why do I need to watch that? She was like, I already seen What Love Got to Do with It. So I'm like, well, you do know What Love Got to Do with It is not a documentary. And anytime
it's not.
So my mama told me
Loosely.
Right.
Yeah, because the thing is, now by watching this, I see a lot of the stuff was Hollywood up. You know what I'm saying? They switched some stuff up, all that little stuff like that. So let's start with VJ. VJ, what was your initial opinion when you first saw it?
So I just want to preface this before I tell you that, I just want to say it's cool that we got a chance to be here and do this. So thank you for having us, because on All Docked Up, we generally have a rule that we do not do multi-part documentaries. So with this is something we probably would have never been able to do because we wouldn't have. Right. 5 parts is a lot for us to try to cover, so we would have never been able to cover it. With that being said, I really enjoyed it. Why I love doing the show with Khris and Penrose is because we all genuinely love documentaries. And so I watch them all the time. I think I literally watched everything on HBO Max. I just will find it, watch it, whatever. So this one I felt like was really well done. I liked that it was in kind of parts and you could follow it in a way that kind of made sense in a way that like chapters of a book, really. Like you just kind of got to see her life unfold kind of like you would do a good book. And I really was appreciative of the way it was done.
Aesthetically, it was beautiful. And like VJ said, it was and we know it's broken up in chapters. But for me, Tina Turner wasn't a super big person in my household. And so I knew songs, you know what I'm saying, and knew What's Love Got to Do with It, and all stuff like that. But I didn't really know, you know what I'm saying, about what was happening. So to watch this, but then as each chapter unfolds, my favorite part was how we are watching it musically. How we kind of show, like, we see the transformation from anime to Tina Turner, like, and then Tina Turner post Ike. Like, so for me, like, to be able to appreciate the music that I missed, or to really understand the where she was when the music that I know was out, you know what I'm saying? Like, was super, like, mind blowing for me. Like, I thought it was amazingly done.
Dope. I think for me, being able, the story we know of Tina Turner, whether you're a fan or not, is Anime Bullock. She met Ike, turned to Tina Turner. Ike used to beat her. She beat him up in the back of a limo. She gone.
He made her eat the cake. Scoots!
Right. Yo,
what's going on? Hey man, listen, my apologies y'all for being late, man. My son's baseball coach, bro. This nigga ain't know what he was doing, so they was out there for extra time. And then he had everybody in the infield and 2 people in the outfield, so they was hitting, and 2 people was chasing down the ball, passing to everybody else. It's a mess.
Okay. So are you taking his job, or like what's happening?
No, I'm definitely not taking his job. He the assistant coach. I guess the head coach didn't make it today, so they was out there just willy-nilly. Niggas was throwing
Dwight Schrute.
Yeah, niggas was on the first base and niggas was on third. So it's a whole thing.
How old are they?
12.
Oh, okay,
wow.
yeah, I thought I was okay. Yeah, I
You thought he was like a 6-year-old?
I was like, okay, maybe it's T-ball or something. Like, they're learning.
This shit was like the real version of Sandlot. Like, whatever you seen on Sandlot, that's what that was today. It was all bad, man.
Hell no.
Oh man, but you ain't missed too much, man. Everybody was just giving their initial thoughts of the Tina documentary, man. So what you got on it?
Oh, let Penrose finish. Sorry, I interrupted him.
Oh yeah, you did interrupt him. My bad. Go ahead, my guy.
It's all good. To be able to see how much she dealt with Ike after the fact, and how much that actually she fought with being a person versus tied to a traumatic situation. You know what I mean? Like, Tina Turner is amazing and famous for a beautiful reason. Yet so many people only attribute her fame to getting beat by Ike. Right. And so them showing what she actually went through while trying to separate from that, still be a person, still be a mom, and still be Tina Turner. I thought for me, that was one of the best parts of the doc. So,
man, that's a great point. My initial thoughts going into it was Tina Turner is built like Wendy Williams. Had to get that out.
No.
Good night. See?
No.
Don't judge me.
Wendy played power forward for the Knicks, but you can't do that.
I'm just saying. They got the shoulders, no hips. You know what I'm saying?
Wendy shaped like the Sesame Street pea.
Yeah. But watching the doc, I actually watched twice. Man, it's amazing to see everything she overcame. You know what I'm saying? Like, she went from being somebody who just wanted to sing to losing her R&B status to basically reinventing herself into this pop / rock and roll icon. And then, I mean, like, she went from literally having to do shows just to pay off her debt, and then end up coming back and became a fucking megastar all over again. So, I mean, it's just amazing to see somebody have to go through so much trauma. And like Penrose said, like, everything was connected to Ike. Even when she was 16, 17, 20 years down the line, she was still connected to him because they were still asking her questions about him. Yeah, and it was just like, you kind of felt her. It was like, goddamn, like, I don't even know if this nigga's still living. Like, why y'all asking me these questions about this motherfucker? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm
I punched him in the face. Like,
but then I had to think about it, and I was thinking too, like, well, I think so many people were asking that because she kept the name. I think if she didn't keep the name and just kept Tina, then everything would have been different. But the fact that she kept that Tina Turner, people wanted to know where, you know what I'm saying, where was Ike? Why Ike wasn't there?
I think people. Nah. I think I think the world is hell bent on, we feed off drama. we laugh and kiki at the good stories, but the drama is the shit we talk about at the lunch tables at work and when niggas on their cigarette break and when you chilling with your mans. When you pillow talking with your wife after she tell you about Keisha at work, y'all talking about whatever the hottest shit is in the streets. That's why, you know what I mean? That's why 20 years later it was What's Up with Ike, because even a kid who only know Tina Turner as a star, if you hear she got beat, she did this, she did that, it's still a story to somehow connect to. Like, I ain't gonna get totally off base, but you know, the world's a disgusting place. Niggas love drama.
That's a fact. But I mean, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I thought it was a smart idea to keep her name, man, especially in that time in the 70s and 80s. And I thought it was a smart move by her. I just think the fact of when she said that she never really talked about the divorce. So I think some of that might have been her fault, but she said that she didn't want Ike to find her. So I don't know what that had to do with anything. I don't know why she couldn't just, because I felt if she would have said, yo, me and Ike got divorced, we ain't together no more musically or, you know what I'm saying, physically, anything like that, I think that those questions wouldn't have been as that bad in the very beginning. But because she tried to keep it under wraps, like motherfuckers kept asking. And I mean, I can't be mad at them by asking the question in the very beginning. But like when it's 15, 20 years down the road, like, yeah, this is dumb. But like to ask these questions in the very beginning when they first got divorced, it's like, yeah, like people are going to ask, they're going to want to know. So I think that small part of it was on Tina though.
The fact that you're saying that the fact that Ike still kind of like was like, right, like Peter Pan, like shadowing her, like because she chose not to like clear the air when it was originally happening.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Got you.
I can see that.
I don't know, man. Yeah. I don't know about that one, man. It's for me. I'm trying to think of who I could say this right, because I don't want to offend nobody when I say this. But like,
you came in and said she shaped like Wendy Williams, like.
No, that was just an initial thought. That didn't have nothing to do with how great she is. That didn't have nothing to do with how great she is. That didn't have nothing to do with her talent. None of that. But no, seriously though, like I think that if she would have came out and talked about it, and I know how hard that is to do something like that, because that's not an easy thing to talk about, especially when you're going through it. But I felt like if she would have at least after the fact, after they were separate and everything else, had came out and told her story as everything was going on, or at least get her side of it out, I don't think she would have felt that trauma as long as she felt it. I think that by getting it off her chest early, she could have kind of got away from some of that. But in a weird sense, I feel like she used that to kind of fuel herself to get to where she ended up getting.
You got to think about what she said in the documentary, though. Two things. One, you're talking about the time and the era where niggas weren't listening to women and being wrong to women was almost common. Another thing, though, is that she pointed out the reason she didn't talk about a lot of it is because what she said, I'm loyal. And loyalty means more to some people than others. And when she said that, that's kind of when they kind of went hardcore into you getting beat and then made to go do a song. When she even said this eye is smaller than the other one. You see what I'm saying? So I feel like when it comes to speaking out, in some small way, she didn't want to put him out on blast like that until she just couldn't take no more. And then B, again, if we thinking about the times, man, nobody was gonna really like to kind of piggyback Chris' point earlier when she said Tina Turner wasn't big music in her household. So if we really look at Tina Turner, she was a big star, but Tina Turner was rock and roll. So to the average household person, her story, you coming out and telling your story, nobody was probably gonna listen back at them times anyway. Unfortunately.
Right.
No, you're right about that. That is an interesting point that she said that though, like her music really wasn't rocking in your house when you was younger like that. Did y'all parents rock with Tina Turner or Ike and Tina like that?
Nope. Outside of the hits, nah.
Right.
I mean, nah. I mean, honestly, man, it was just really. I mean, that was like a movie that my mom used to watch a lot. So like that's the only thing that I even knew about Tina Turner was What Love Got to Do with It. Like I never really heard any of those records like that. But like,
what was the song about secondhand smoke? About getting high in the room. Like it was in one of the acts. And I want to hear that.
She's a hater. She was down in the ganja in that whole song. She said she said they had the blunt, they passed it around. She turned it down. She was like, right. She was like,
but then she got high from the
secondhand smoke. That ain't the same thing. Yeah, that ain't the same thing. It was contact high.
But I mean,
they was really shotgunning. I don't know about that one. There was shotgun in there for real. She ain't want to tell the truth.
I just didn't know. I didn't know she had hits like that. I didn't know she had bops like that. That's all I'm saying.
Do you look at somebody sideways in 2021 if they still trying to get a shotgun?
Yes.
Wait. Repeat the question.
The COVID-filled ganja.
Yeah, like why would you? We're in a panoramic. Why would you?
If you had an event somewhere, somebody was like, "Yo, you want a shotgun?" Like, are you serious?
Oh no.
For one, I'm over 30.
First of all, no, it's 2021, so no, like no, we're not doing that. Also, like Panera Bread, we're in it still. Like
we're definitely in Panera Bread.
Don't do that.
The Pandora is still going on.
It's still going. It's still open. It's still open.
Very much so. The vaccines are still available, so that means that people are still getting sick.
Folks. Like shotgun, hell, you shouldn't even be passing blunts around. Like,
to be honest, like you got to really keep that circle real tight at this point. Like,
you got to smoke
everybody
with the same people.
Everybody needs to roll their own shit. Hell, it's circle
That's
shit.
I am circle. Since we on the topic of drugs, they showed my man. I ain't gonna lie to you. This was a Ike Turner slander film. They showed my man Ike sniffing cocaine like he was Priest in Superfly. Now, do y'all think that this had anything to do with his aggression and his anger towards Tina Turner? Because she was turning out hits. So why was he that?
The cocaine. You just answered your own question.
It's the 80s. Everyone did coke.
I'm just saying.
Everyone was doing coke. Everybody had drugs. Like,
and some people, and just like how some people can't smoke weed, some people can't snort coke.
He needs to put the coke down. Like that's it.
He needed an alternative.
By the time he got to her, man, if you think about it, it was kind of disgusting when you think about it. Take the coke into effect, and then they say that when they first met, it was a brother-sister relationship. By the time
she was 17.
Right. But by the time he formed a relationship, mentally he was so fucked because what did they say? Everybody he wrote a hit for would end up leaving him. He formed a sexual relationship with her and trademarked that name, all built around making sure she didn't leave.
He never leave.
A star. So you
and basically had her tell him that.
Yeah.
That she would never leave him.
You got damn right that when it came to that was Bill.
Nah.
He's a narcissist and an abuser, is what he is.
I'm not negating that fact, but that nigga is still a genius.
Musically?
This nigga put her in the 360 before them shits was even popping.
Good night. You're right.
Okay.
You're right.
What are we talking about? My nigga, listen.
On that.
Listen,
wow.
This nigga is at Joe Jackson levels of business right now. The fact that he was writing the songs, he put her in his band, made her the star, she was popping before she even started doing rock and roll. You know what I'm saying? The cocaine hit, you know what I'm saying? He flipped and he went all the way left. That's his fault. He fucked up a good thing. But then she turned herself into something else. You know what I'm saying? That shit is crazy.
No, what's crazy is how the movie tried to portray it one way and it really went down another way. Because you remember in the movie and What Love Got to Do with It, she had just had the baby down in Mexico. And then they said over the radio station, they said the new hit by Ike and Tina Turner. And she was like, who is Tina Turner? And then it was like that was his way of proposing to her. But in real life, this motherfucker just changed the name and you gotta do it. Like, I don't care what you want to do. What I thought was weird though,
the hits from Anime Bullet don't sound the same.
Man, I'm
it's
not
something behind it. Wait. Anime don't get like Tina do.
That Tina Turner ring, man.
I mean, it did ring.
I mean, would she have
ring
used
to
her last name? Like,
she couldn't just be anime, or like she could have just made her own stage name. Like, did she have to like have a name Epic? Like,
it's the alliteration.
That is a part of abuse. That's a part of the cycle of abuse. It is about control on every level possible. It is about isolation, and
that's true.
But
that's the music industry.
Abuser. But again,
that's the music industry.
And the music industry is full of narcissists and abusers.
Yes, it is.
So, yeah, but look where he got the name from, though. He got the name from this TV character that he loved on TV named Sheena?
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
this dude.
When inspiration hit you, it hit you, baby. Ain't got nothing to do with him.
Sometimes you be eating Cheerios and watching TV, and
you feel me?
You be like, Tina, Sheena. It's Tina.
He did. Listen, I think he still had great business.
Who are you talking to?
At the end of the day, I think he still had amazing business. The fact that he wrote all the songs, you know what I'm saying, put her into the band, made her the lead singer, you know what I'm saying, had R&B hits like crazy in the 50s and the 60s at that. My nigga was doing doo-wop and then was riding up the street and he was like, hey, I want to try this out. And this nigga was with B.B. King, and this nigga wrote the first rock and roll record just on the whim. Yeah. Like that nigga was a genius, bro.
Very talented, and he's very. But as we see with a lot of people that are very talented and gifted, they have their own sets of demons and problems, and unfortunately, sometimes that bleeds over into things that it shouldn't bleed over into. It ruins the personal relationships they have with people.
That is true. So my question is this: is that something that is indicative of like the greats, like the goats of arts? Like, do they all have to have that in order to become like that to that next pinnacle? Because like a lot of people say, you know what I'm saying, like they sell their soul. I don't think they selling their soul. I just think like they just end up going through so much trauma that they use that to fuel themselves to get over or to bury that trauma and then become like this mega star.
Right.
I think they're troubled people.
Oh, go ahead.
As I say, I think they're troubled people who are gifted, and it's an outlet for that pain. Like it's an outlet for the things that they're feeling. It's an outlet for the trauma, but that's only one way of dealing with it outwardly facing. You're not addressing the root of the issue. You're just talking about it or using something to cope with it, but you aren't getting to the root of the issue. So when
you cope, that album don't slap.
Good night.
Okay, and so I mean, and that's fair because look, what is the criticism that people have about like Keisha Cole or like a Mary J. Blige? If they're not,
when Mary J. Blige was in love, that album was ass.
The albums that's what they say. If they're in love, if everything is good in their life, then the albums are trash, and it's fucked up. But that's what the prevailing consensus is, right? Like that's
the Penrose point, though. He said it earlier. We love the bullshit.
People love drama. For one, let me comment on something you said. The world changed the meaning of, actually, the church changed the meaning of selling your soul. When you talk selling your soul, that's exactly what they're doing, and that's why the shit slap. I'm just gonna use Jay for instance. Jay made his first album at 26, and for 10 years gave us fucking 10 bangers. And everything he talked about, we can wholeheartedly verify. When you're selling your soul, I have to give you all of me. I gotta give you the real. If I don't, and again, to your point, this is why motherfucking the Keisha Coles and the Mary J's don't slap when they happy, because you fake happy. You don't really know how to be happy. You just came on for giving us this dope ass depressed album. You've been in a relationship for 1 year, and now you giving us love? No, you don't really know how to be happy. So in the sense
I think it's a release from the trauma, right? Like you get to shake the chains off for a little bit and just enjoy not having to sing about traumatic experiences. I wouldn't want to sit around and sing about my trauma all day either.
And I feel you, but to the same point, when they're singing about the happiness, they're still selling their soul. So to his point, or to answer his question, I feel like whether it's good stuff or bad stuff, you do have to have that in order to give. Because the only reason we connect to artists, podcasters, painters, rappers, whoever, is because something they've done we connected with somewhere in our life. We can remember something, we going through it now, whatever. So yes, you do need, it doesn't necessarily have to be that traumatic. but you need
a level of
life
authenticity.
experiences exactly in order to be appealing to the people. So,
okay, I see what you're saying when you say appealing, but I mean like to that GOAT status.
To that GOAT
though.
level, yes, you have
to that GOAT level. You gotta be deep in it though. Like you gotta be down there 6 feet.
Yeah, I agree.
But I think it requires a lot of work on the other side too, right? To get to the level that we're talking about, that requires a lot of sacrifice, a lot of work, a lot of you kind of being able to separate the people and things in your life that you love from this career that you have, and you have to be ultra focused on making that work and attaining that level of superstardom. Yeah. And so for a lot of people that becomes lonely, right? So then you kind of drown yourself in the drinks and the drugs, and because who else is going to identify with that level of having to kind of give up everything that is important to you for this one goal?
Facts.
Like we all have things that we aspire or attain to, but that level, you really do have to sell your soul, because how many people really in life are ever going to know what it feels like to sell out stadiums and to have platinum records and to most of us are never going to know what that feels like. And that requires a lot of sacrifice. And that in itself is a whole other set of trauma.
Mm-hmm. True. I can agree with that.
But I also like to piggyback off what Scoots was saying. Like, I think I give Ike that genius thing, but at the same time, Ike could be sort of like a Quentin Miller, right? Like they say he wrote Drake some hits. Okay, he wrote some hits, but he couldn't perform them because he wasn't Drake. Ike couldn't perform those songs because he wasn't Tina. You know what I'm saying?
Named Quentin.
Neo was writing hits for Beyonce, but he can't go out there and sing Irreplaceable. It's the same.
That's hilarious.
But that's a
great analogy.
So I think that he needed her just as much. But what was crazy was when they had Proud Mary came out. So then they get the new house. He built it in the studio and all this shit. And then he gets the pressure from the labels of coming out with another hit. And I think that when y'all was talking about the selling your soul thing, I think that's when it got real crazy for him, because now you got the pressure of trying to come up with another Proud Mary, and you got this new studio. Now you got to pay for it. And then it's like he's even going even more crazy with the coke, because like he probably did coke beforehand, but I just think that it really got out of control once Proud Mary came out. And then it's like you pressing for that next hit. Then Tina is over here doing what's my man name? Phil Spector. I think that's what his name was.
Oh, man, yo.
Yeah. That nigga never combed his hair. That's crazy.
Yeah,
that album was a Spectre.
Listen, I ain't gonna lie, yo, I liked that song, man. I'm sorry.
Man, that's a flop, bro.
Hey, I did. But but that's how America do though. Like they put Tina in the middle. You know what I'm saying? Like they doing a song that's not gonna ring off in the black community, and then when it comes to the white community, they're gonna be like, yo, we ain't fucking with it. So they had to go take it over there, and that shit rung off over there. But I think Ike, that even put more pressure on Ike. Now he made a great point what he said, because he just said what I just said. Like, yeah, he made a great point. But at the same time, when she started doing that, was it Buddhism? When she started doing that shit, the wildest shit was when she was on stage and she was talking about, you know what I'm saying, women's needs and all that little stuff like that. And she was saying that, men like being out in the streets, so now we can go out in the streets and get what we want. When she flipped the script, but that was wild.
Yeah, I think they kind of set him. He was already.
I went with that.
He was already a little on the edge, and she just went ahead and pushed him right on off. She was like, "Yeah." And that was
I wasn't with that one at all. When she started doing the chants and everything, man, because that was the downfall right there, bro. That's my man. That's where just couldn't keep it going. No, not for Tina. I ain't talking about for Tina. I'm talking about for Ike, man. What about Ike? Listen, I know he probably hit her and everything else.
About to turn this into the
I'm not standing up. Listen, I'm not standing up. I'm not taking up for his abuse, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, whatever. I'm not doing that part, right? But we have to understand why this nigga was doing drugs and creating all these hits, and he couldn't do it. You want to know? That's why he was angry. Nigga, if I'm making all this magic and I can't be the star,
But
come
I
on,
mean,
man.
at the end of the day, too.
Yeah, well,
Look,
that's
look at
his only
Jermaine Jackson.
vibe.
Look at Jermaine
He
Jackson.
found her.
This nigga look plastic to this day because he wanted to be Michael Jackson, bro.
Okay, so he does
For one,
look like
Imagine how
a
much
like
shit he created.
he does look like a Dollar General Ken doll. Like I will give you that.
He
However,
does.
I'm telling you.
like that's not. There are plenty of people who write and produce for other people and never have their face on a fucking album, and they are perfectly fine with that. So if that is
cool
what
with
he,
it.
so
But
if
when
he
you want to be the star, that's not
then
the same
maybe.
thing.
And if he wanted to be a star, then why didn't he? Like you're
He
saying,
tried.
like
He had everything he needed. Like
But
he
he
could
was-
have
he
not
was
gotten
trying.
to
but
it.
you,
No,
okay,
he
but you
was
put
the
this
star
on
before
your
her.
man and you stuck her out there and was like, kick your legs, bitch, sing. Right now, I'm gonna punch you in the eye. Like, didn't nobody do that?
He was
No,
No,
already
that
a
ain't how
star.
it went. That's not how it went. He
I'm
tried.
not saying
He
that's
was
exactly how
doing
it
the
went,
ad
but I'm-
libs. He started Proud Mary. He was doing the ad libs like she was doing her
Okay,
thing.
so he
He was
brought her
already
into
a
this
star.
band, right? Is that not what you said? He brought her into this band, yes? Remember the
That is
original
true.
360 deal?
He
Remember
was
he
a
said
star,
that?
Penrose. He was.
He was no star.
What?
How was he not a star in the way
He
that he was
was.
moving?
He
that
was.
music?
His band
Before
was
Tina-
fire.
Yeah, before Tina came along, he was already on the
Yeah.
path.
She
He was
stole
a
the
star in
spotlight.
his own right, and that's what I'm saying. Like there was
Yeah.
never he did not need Tina in that way. So to say that he's like, if you're jealous of her, why? You created this when you didn't have to.
Because he couldn't
You're
create it
jealous
for
of what you
himself. Though.
created?
She was at a higher level than he was though.
I think, but remember they were kind of doing the interviews, and she was kind of joking about him kind of being shy and quiet and reserved. And I think that is a lot of it too, right? You can be very gifted musically, be able to write, have a great pen, but you may just not have that stage presence or that kind of star persona. Because I think that even watching them perform together, he was kind of more, in the back, more reserved, like playing instruments. Right, playing the shit out the instruments, but not giving you that kind of electrifying performance that you get when you put Tina Turner on the stage in front of all these people and the lights come up and it's like an instant on with her.
Yeah.
And that's something that you only get from being a bona fide entertainer. And I think that he was a very good artist in his own right, but not a Prince or a Beyonce or a Michael Jackson or a Tina Turner.
Man, did y'all hear that reference track? Did y'all hear Quentin Miller's 10 bands?
Yes.
It didn't sound like Drake, did it?
Yes.
Man, don't do that.
Don't
Don't
nobody
do that
wanna
to
hear
Quentin, bro.
that name
Don't
for
do that
you.
to Quentin, bro. Reference
Look.
tracks are different. It ain't nothing but the lyrics.
Can we
for
just
real.
let him be wherever he is? God bless him. But let's not.
Don't
And not on my
don't
Spotify.
get down on Quentin like that.
I'm
man.
not down on Quentin. All I'm saying is
Let
Quentin.
that man live with his
Yeah,
32,000.
his
Well,
10 bands was never supposed to pop.
All I'm saying is Ike had this thing going, but at the same time, he never would have reached the heights that they reached without Tina. And if he didn't have the ego for it, then he never should have started it.
But you got to think it probably was never ego. You got to, if we talking about the whole documentary, you're talking about a dude who, for one, y'all brought the coke in. Let me just say, and don't ask me how I know, but the more money around, if you already a cokehead, the more coke you gonna fucking do. You take that into account with a nigga who's already, as far as relationships, been fucked up as a kid. And to be honest, when you in that lane and you Ike Turner, you probably didn't have problems getting women. But when you fucked up in the head, you probably had problems having relationships. Hence, kids from previous relationships and nobody there even when Tina come along. So if we can say that, trademarking the name and all of that it was abuse. But if you look at it, bro, like this nigga was wholeheartedly just fucked in the head. And the first person who showed him the kind of love he'd been looking for the last 17 odd years, he wholeheartedly
they put
treated
someone
her
that
like shit.
pledged their allegiance to him and agreed to stay and promised not to leave. And when you are used to people abandoning you in your personal and professional life, and now you are kind of running on coke because now you have the money to fuel that. Yeah, I mean it makes perfect sense. It is, which I talk about serial killers in my other podcast, but it really is the perfect storm, right? You have these people who have lived these lives where they have their own demons and things that have fucked them up. And then they meet somebody else who gives them an unconditional love, almost like a puppy to an extent, because they look up to you and are enamored because they are also looking for love. And it's just like this two toxic puzzle pieces that just fit together perfectly. And now you have these people that are creating wonderful music, but are really bad for each other.
Facts. That's what I put in my notes, the perfect storm. Because her moving there, she wasn't even in St. Louis that long. She literally was coming there to find herself and fell into her dream.
And found him.
Found him.
So
sad times.
She was chasing him though, man.
She was kind of. She was showing up.
Oh no, she was chasing.
Like she was doing a little chasing.
She said her sister took her to they went to Memphis to go see this band, and it was his band, and she just kept talking about she want to sing. She was chasing it. You know what I'm saying? But my thing is, you know what I'm saying, he did take advantage of her. She was only 17. And that little brother, big sister, that big brother, little sister shit, I wasn't with that shit at all. I thought that was kind of creepy. Yeah, that shit was weird as fuck.
But we're also looking at it through the lens of being, fully fleshed out adults who, in 2021 when things are much different because.
Well, but he admitted to changing it. That's the thing. Starting it that way is not the issue. It's when you admit that you changed the relationship solely due to the fact that if you didn't, A, you could have never made her the star you tried to make her, and B, she could have possibly left you. That's disgusting as fuck.
I know that's very gross and grimy, but I was talking about the fact of her being 17. Like, that shit's fucked up, but also that's really on par for the time. She's probably older than a lot of people.
Tiger did the same thing, though.
Oh, man.
Who?
What? Tiger. He did the
Tiger
same
Woods
thing
with the nanny.
Oh, no, he's talking about Tiger.
Okay. Okay, got you.
He's talking about Tiger with the
that was a couple years back. So I think that's just when you in that industry, that's just something that they do.
I think it's one of those things where they say women mature faster than men, and then they are like, oh well, she's just so grown. It's not. No, anybody that will trust science sometimes, occasionally, and it'll tell you. No, it'll tell
Zendaya
you
still looks 16.
Yeah, that's it. There's no link between the fact that like anybody matures at any age. Our frontal lobes develop well into our 20s, and that is everybody. It's not men versus women, whoever. So, but it's always that prevailing thing. Oh well, they're so adult for their age, and that's why you have all these child stars who were like running around in nightclubs at 14, and they're like, "Here, you want a drink?" Like that's why they all have fucking drug problems and are alcoholics because they've been drinking since they were 12 or some shit.
Oh, good. I think Drew Barrymore said her first line of coke was at 9.
I could have been one of those child stars. Damn.
So I got a question. When do y'all think that relationship switched? Do you think it was when she got pregnant by the what was it? Was it the drummer? Oh, the guitar. Who was the guy she got pregnant by?
The drummer. She
it
got
was the dude
pregnant by
that
the
played
drummer.
the saxophone, wasn't it?
No, I was
I
the
just want to
drummer.
name instruments. It was a
One-
nigga.
yeah, everybody
Nigga
do
that played
that,
an
man.
instrument.
The nigga
Yeah,
that
man.
played
Somebody play the instrument. Yeah.
the nigga that
So
played
y'all-
She gave the drummer
this
some.
you always got to get a drummer song.
You got to.
Yeah,
That's why the
drummers
nigga was
are
mad.
Yeah, that's what do y'all think that's when it switched?
I think so because he's like, oh, she really think I'm just her brother out here.
You got me giving this nigga a 10-minute drum solo. You
Come on, man.
Listen, he getting solo.
That's
Then you
how
go
I
hide
heard
his
it,
hand.
Nope. Bitch, I put that solo in the song, nigga.
Right.
But she
Hey,
asked me to. No.
Listen, that it switched when Ike had that. You remember when in the Temptations when David Ruffin walked out and he said, "I'm David Ruffin, and these are the Temptations." That's when the game switched. When Ike felt like that, that's when shit switched.
When it was like Tina Turner,
Damn.
but also Ike's back there, and it was like, oh shit, this is not gonna work. What do you mean Ike is back there?
Tina.
Ike is first. What are you talking about? What the fuck? What is this Tina?
Can you imagine how hard James Brown would have
Can't
smacked the shit
spell
out of
Ike with
Maceo if he ever came out the back? That's what
It'd have been over with. It'd have been over with. That shit would have been all in the Hollywood Reporter.
I always wondered
That
that,
shit
like,
would have
okay,
been over with.
So unrelated, I always wonder this because like Frankie Beverly always performs with Maze, right? But he's not like in Maze. But then everybody's like, oh, Frankie Beverly's like in the front singing all the fucking songs. And it's like, damn, I wonder how Maze feels. Like, Maze and Frankie Beverly, but
they
now
just a dope ass band.
As a collective.
No,
Like,
they just a dope ass band. That's the best part about having that band. That's like Roger and Zap. Zap just, you know, they just do their thing.
Real shit.
Yeah, but do you
But can
think
you
that
imagine the
pissed off
first
is
time?
Roger
Maze-
name?
Wait.
There's not.
Nah. You remember?
Wait,
can you
isn't
imagine
Zap just
Maze
Zap just the two, or is that a person?
No, Zap is a band.
Like the whole band,
Tube-
right?
The Tube is the voice box, man.
Oh wait, you thought it was only the two?
You thought the audio box was Zap?
I just thought that he like named it something.
Is it? Wait, I'm gonna make you feel better because I thought Travis Porter was one person, so it's okay.
Okay, see, like a nigga first and last name. No,
Yeah,
I really
fine.
thought that. Like, I just thought he like I knew them other niggas was there, but I thought they was. But I just thought that he was like, I gotta give this nigga a name. He's on like
No, there's that. The audio box is
Roger
also
and
Roger Chapman.
No, I know it's Roger, but I'm saying I thought.
No,
he
it's a collective. It's a collective. He's not Roger Chapman without the audio box.
Okay, gotcha.
Roger and the niggas. It's good.
Roger, the nigga, and Zach.
Oh my goodness.
Oh shit. Okay. See, you learn stuff every
That's
day.
funny.
That's amazing.
That is funny.
Oh
Man, that's crazy. Well,
Because
I
like
mean,
Zach
I
is
don't,
like a computer noise. Like it's like a, you know.
no,
Never
that's
mind.
just the name of the book. The only person in the band that wasn't fucking with Roger Chapman was his brother. Unfortunately,
Not his
y'all know how that ended.
Man, we know how that ended. Yeah,
Yeah, his brother killed him.
Oh, I didn't know any of this.
Y'all ain't know that?
Yeah,
I didn't know. I'm
I got
learning so
the-
much about Roger. Like,
Yeah, I got the low. He from here, so I know like all that shit. The whole city shut down when that shit happened.
damn.
Yeah, that shit was wild. And then his brother killed himself. And then now it's just Zap.
Come on, man.
because in her head right now, all she's imagining is the little box by itself somewhere on the lonely ass street.
When I said it, I instantly regretted it. As soon as I said it, I instantly regretted it.
I just saw like
Slowly back
I
to
saw,
wailing
like,
sounds and shit.
I just saw like a museum with like the one spotlight, like with just the fucking sad ass, just like little tube in the fucking machine.
I saw the tube on the bus stop in rain.
Looking out the window and shit.
Oh man, y'all are fucking sick, bro.
Oh man. Oh man.
Tube on the bus stop though. It's not listen, it is not a tube, it's a box. It's a
I know,
tube
but
connected
the
to a box.
But they don't have the
tube.
box don't be in the videos. The tube.
Yeah,
After all
it's
this
connected
happened,
to the
the tube and the
keyboard.
box divorced. They separated, and so now they live in.
The tube and the box divorced.
The tube somewhere living it up in Malibu. The box like
The tube is still
The
touring.
tube, right? The tube still tours.
The box is at home pissed right now.
He's done some collabs with Jacquees.
You know, the box don't get no room. This is a queen.
They was on the Lil Mama Comeback tour and shit.
Nigga, you hear me? He on that new Bow Wow album, I'm sure. Like
He tried to apologize to Jay-Z and Alicia Keys. They told her no.
Okay, because like again,
She didn't have to do that.
Bro,
Like,
she
I
didn't
wouldn't
do
have said that
nothing.
either.
All she did was get up and fold her arms like that. Clown.
But like nobody wanted that. No one wanted that. Like, and it was just like, okay, but nigga, everybody, half of the niggas in the room was probably from New York. Would that have been okay? Like,
Man,
Nobody
if
being
you-
up there. It's not okay.
if Twista and Do or Die was on stage in Chicago and they finished Do You Want to Ride, you'd have hopped up there too, like
nigga.
No,
and 40,000 other people. Like that's what I'm saying. Like if
that's
I'm
the
not,
whole entire stadium.
You gotta
have
give her
to
credit
gauge,
for having the ball to do it though.
No, you don't.
No.
You gotta
And
get
then,
it. You want to know why today we still talk about even ODB? But when Kanye went on stage and interrupted Taylor Swift, you want to know why Kanye's still famous? Because his level of stardom said, I can interrupt this. You
I
little
can just
mama.
go on stage, right?
Little mama couldn't came on stage with me and not get flamed on goddamn.
Do you hear what I'm saying? Like
y'all gonna act like Lip Gloss wasn't a number one hit?
I'm not gonna act like that, but I am.
Or a top 10 hit?
Come on, Lil Mama existed in
I don't
part
live
of
on
hip hop.
Billboard,
One
nigga.
top 10 hit.
Go back to the 80s. Yeah,
One top 10 hits. Alicia Keys and motherfucking Jay-Z. And you
Lumi
think
G had it.
Lumi G
half
had
the
a hit.
people there
Lumi D did not have a hit.
Together and do a
Lumi D just was saying, uh-oh.
remix.
And it was a hit. And that shit was a hit. That's my point. That's what she said. We can't give Lil Mama that shit.
That shit didn't pop till Fabulous got on it. Lil Mama was all on her own. She had everybody talking about how they lip gloss was popping.
And still to this day, they say it.
Half of the niggas in the room thought she was Bow Wow when she got up there. So please, let's not.
That's why they mad at her then. They mad at Bow Wow.
Because it wasn't Bow Wow.
Y'all gonna leave Bow Wow alone too. Bow Wow is a legend, okay? Get off of Bow Wow's back. Bow Wow
is a legend. Shad Moss is a fucking clown. Like,
there we go.
We don't got nothing to do with Shad Moss.
And Lil Mama is not a legend.
Whatever he do on the net, he's Bow Wow.
Right. Bow Wow could have gotten on stage is the point we're making.
Whatever he do on the net,
could have gotten up there and been on
whatever
stage.
he do as far as the internet go, he Bow Wow.
So you mean that was Bow Wow that sat on that plane and took a picture of that other plane and said private jetting?
Yep. Or that was Bow Wow when he spread out like 51s and laid on them. And niggas can count how much money he went on.
You can't judge him because he was trying to prank people.
What?
Okay.
This ain't like Usher Butts, my nigga.
So
he might have had them. They might have been Bow Wow Butts. Maybe Usher got the idea from him.
I did not.
Tina, come back to us.
Yeah,
no, right.
We can't go with this Bow Wow.
Okay, back to Tina.
Yes.
Back to Tina though.
Where's Tina? Bring her back.
So, she decided to go rock and roll. Because I guess R&B just wasn't cutting it for her because white people couldn't write R&B at that time. So
I still don't get that. Like the whole rock and roll situation. I'm listening to the album trying to figure out what's
the difference?
The Wigs was the rock and roll.
That was
make me understand because she wasn't out here sounding like the Stones. So I'm just like I'm trying to understand.
Yeah, that was a pop album more than a rock album.
She was definitely sounding like the Stones.
Which version of the Stones are you referring to? Like that's
any of them. She just got a soulful voice, so when she sings, it don't sound like that.
Yeah, I don't. And
I don't see it. Like for all intents and purposes, like I would like to say that they sounded like rock and roll albums, but it didn't. It did not sound like the rock and roll that people were putting out. Not to say that disqualifies her from making rock and roll music, but if you're making music to fit in a genre, it's very different than what it is today, where you have all these crossover hits and all these different sounds are qualified as things. And Justin Bieber thinks he can be in the R&B.
Okay. I see what you're saying, but it's different because at the time it's the instrumentation that decided what was what, right? And so since everything was played with actual instruments, it's harder to tell back then from an R&B to a pop to a rock and roll. It was more so in the cadence of their voice. It was more so in like a rock and roll would have a lot more drum, but it would be a lot more hi-hat and guitar. R&B would have drums, but it would be like more of a bass drum, more of a bass guitar. Yeah. And then pop would be more like a synthetic sound, if you want to use that. But Those are kind of like those lines.
Theory. I'm just saying it doesn't.
And it makes sense.
Like I'm pretty well versed, but it just wasn't resonating for me. It sounded very pop to me. I mean, and that's
it did.
But I mean, I think that's because of her voice. I don't think that was necessarily the music behind it. Because I think that all of the music, if you just listen to the instrumentation behind it, all that shit sound like rock and roll and pop. I think it was just her voice because she got such a soulful voice that really made it sound like somewhat of an R&B song or somewhat of a pop song. Like her voice just wasn't rock and roll. So I think that's why a lot of people want to make that connection.
I would argue that something like the musicality of the songs gives you rock and roll, but I would say that it certainly is more so that she, like we're talking about her, like I be ahead of his time, 360 deal. I think she was kind of ahead of her time in sound, right? Like I think it was. Yes. But I really think that's so it is. Like I'm saying, you know, just with an ear that it doesn't really sound rock and roll, but really when you listen to it, like it could be any number of things. It doesn't sound like one particular thing, and I think that's probably what I should clarify. But that's a valid point. Like it doesn't. I don't know that you can classify it as purely rock and roll, but I get what you're saying. For the musicianship, it does sound that way, but it's kind of.
Well, I was going off of her description too, because that's what she was saying. Like she was saying, like she wanted to be like rock and roll. So I guess when she was having the producers go through everything, management go through everything, her initial take was to go, you know what I'm saying, through that rock and roll path. Like she wanted to be like Mick Jagger and everybody else. So,
but I feel like maybe that's not where she ended up, if that makes sense.
You saying she failed?
No, I'm saying it may either. I'm saying that the sound that she maybe was pushing for is not it was refined, and that's not where she ended up in a purely rock and roll.
When she said she wanted to be like Jagger, I don't think she was actually talking about the music. I think she.
No, yeah, I mean, like as far as the sales, right?
The sales, she did that. I mean, even coming back from, she almost was just gonna be a Vegas act, and then she came back again. You see what I'm saying?
And that's crazy.
And still ended up being a Vegas act.
But I mean,
crazy. You think about Tina Turner just running around fucking Vegas, like doing cabaret. Like that's a wild shit to think about.
It really is, and
like that blew my fucking mind. Like she was running around Vegas doing like dinner cabaret to like pay some bills for me. Like that's insane. Yeah, like I would never. To pay bills, the motherfucker was not.
Vegas usually is a place where people's careers come to die. So for her to have been here for so long and then still was able to come out and like be basically a new artist again, like a whole brand new artist. That was crazy. So R.I.P. to Usher, y'all.
Wow. You know what I mean? I am you because I was going to ask you. Oh my God, is Usher's career dead now?
No,
they're giving free tickets away. Yes, it do.
No, it don't.
Well, they let J-Lo
is still popping.
They let J-Lo do a residency, and then she came out and
when she first got her residency, she ended up in the Super Bowl the same year. As soon as she got that residency.
Remember, Drake did it too.
And then what?
Yes, Drake had a residency.
No, he didn't.
And then she performed at New Year's Eve, and she featured an Aerosmith song, and she slid across the stage.
Very important to know Very important to know that when J-Lo had a residency and when Drake and Cardi B and those type of people have residencies out here, it's not really a residency. They fly in. They'll come like 2 times out of the month, or 3 times out of the month. It's not a residency. So Drake had a residency, but he was here like 3 times, 2 to 3 times,
Drake did a repeat
like every couple months.
That nigga had tour dates.
Same thing with Cardi B when they reopened the Palms. Like that's not a residency. A residency is a nigga on the strip doing 2 to 3 shows a night every weekend night. Every weekend night. And that's what Usher signed up for. And I don't care what you say about J-Lo. She did a terrible, terrible job. And all we care about now is who she getting divorced and not getting married to. And same thing goes with.
She was in the Super Bowl though.
Okay, with who else is there?
Where are the album sales? Like that? Like that's like she's an artist or is she a Super Bowl
right? Listen, like what Super Bowl is the biggest stage you can be on.
People love Shakira,
and then what happened after that? And
I
then
don't
what
know. I
happened
don't buy
after
her music. I just know she was at the Super Bowl.
Okay,
So that's
nobody
what I'm
else
saying.
buy it either. So there's
And it ain't no music to buy, is what I'm trying to tell y'all.
And,
Like-
and then she just do a video with Didn't she just do a video
Did you
with
see it?
Cardi B?
Did you see it?
What's
No,
the
I'm
name?
Did you
asking
see it? Did you
I'm
see
asking
it? Did you
y'all.
see it? Did you see it? Did you see it? Did you see it? Did anybody see it?
I don't
this
know.
is
She's
what I'm
putting out
saying.
music and no one keeps buying
Usher,
it. Like
Usher's in the news because
Hold on, wait a minute.
Y'all
Don't do
wouldn't
that.
even
There's
know
a lot of
he
people
was
that put out
coming
music
here to
and don't nobody
die.
buy it.
You wouldn't
And
even
that's
know
fair,
he
but
was
we're
coming
talking
here to
about
die if the stripper didn't tell on him. Y'all wouldn't even know he was coming here to die, and he is coming here to die. Like he has a residency, like he has a burial plot. Do you know what I'm trying to tell you?
Okay, I got a
They're
question.
giving away
Was
free
that,
tickets on the
did she
radio.
really tell on him though?
No,
they
Because
said
that
that
was
was
promotion.
Yeah,
I
he
think
did
that was
that.
set up.
It was.
Yeah,
It was.
That was set up.
I'm sure that's Bucks is when you go to the free show.
I think he tweeted that.
I
they
wouldn't be
said
surprised.
that he went
From
to
a
the
burner.
that he went to the strip club and that
From a
he tipped
burner.
everybody very well and paid his tab and one of the people in his
and
entourage
threw
left a little fake money up there or whatever. Like apparently he didn't even do that, but also
I don't know
the
that part. He did that
well, the
shit 'cause he
Department of
was
the
posing
Treasury
in
don't
the
believe
picture
it
with him.
either. So say what
Facts.
you want to say. The
He had that
IRS
shit in
and
the
the
clear
Department of the
suitcase.
Treasury don't believe it either.
It was promotion for his burial plot, y'all.
Listen,
So give
you
away
wanna know
free
what's funny?
tickets.
Well, the people
wanna know
printing the
what's funny
money
about
said you got too many
His
different
burial plot.
denominations of money and you gonna have to come talk to us.
Look, when we was
That
about
Because
to
if I don't
do
know
IRS
shit
is
else,
gonna
I know
kill
how
that
to count
nigga.
other people's money. And when the Federal Reserve is like, you're gonna have to take our phone call, dude. It's a problem.
Yeah.
So
right.
I don't know
I
what
didn't
he
know
got
that
going,
that
but you're right.
I
Usher
didn't
coming
know
here
that
so he can
residency
keep his
shit meant-
so he can keep his Wi-Fi on. I'm like, don't do
Look,
it.
I didn't know that shit meant you that was like your career is over. But I did. Now that you say that, I find it funny that one of the things they tried to sell us on when we were trying to throw the party last year was Usher is coming out here to do a residency. I didn't know what the fuck that meant, but I was just like, oh,
Nothing.
okay, that's cool.
We
Tom
weren't
Jones
gonna
got a
go.
residency,
We
don't
weren't
he?
gonna go.
I don't know if he
but I'm
has
talking
one
about
anymore.
when
But
we were trying to
people
get
have
niggas-
residencies, and it's going to start off amazing, right? People are going to come, and the seats are going to be filled. But then like in a couple of months, nobody gives a shit, and he's locked into this contract, and people gonna see him disgruntled at Starbucks and shit. Like, don't nobody want to deal with this.
This nigga Tom Jones been in Vegas for years though. And
Who?
he been living.
Because
Tom Jones.
old white people. Because I mean, okay, right, but is
But
he
he's
ever going to
old
get
and
He
out?
been
white.
singing that same song for years.
Yes.
You think Tom
okay,
Jones
but what I'm
happy?
saying
You get-
is that's what I'm. Guys, when I'm
He
saying
gotta
a
be.
career come to die, I mean the song that
He's
you have
singing.
when you sign up for your residency is the song that you're going to sing until you die. You are not. There's nothing else new. There's nothing else. This is it. Wrap it up.
He's singing the
These are
songs from
everything. This is all we want.
1965. Like he's singing
No,
songs from when
You
And-
keep
and
making
white
it
and
plural.
he's
It's only
young.
one song.
It's not unusual.
Yeah,
Right.
that's it.
That's it.
Okay. Yeah.
He got What's New Pussycat?
Come
Yeah.
on, fam. You might know that
Whoa,
song.
whoa.
That's it.
Whoa.
That's what the song.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
That's the intro. That's the intro into "It's Not Unusual."
And only a few bars of it.
Yeah.
Okay, so he has
He said, "Do you
1.1
think Tom Jones is happy?" Yes, that nigga only got to sing 1.25 songs, and he getting millions.
Okay,
that
but
nigga's living life.
he's not making
he
his money
also
off
is
of the
past-
residency. He making his
Right.
money off of royalties. Like
But
he
he's
not
also
like,
past the
like
age
how
where
many people are still of age and still trying to come see? Like all of his fans are dying. Like, do you hear what I'm saying to you? Like
it's some white kids out there that's going to see Tom Jones. Carlton is
But I
only
think
what
it's
40 something,
nostalgia.
50 something now.
Who?
and niggas know that as the Carlton dance song.
That's what I'm saying. So now they definitely going to see that nigga now because Fresh
There's a
Prince
bit of
played
nostalgia.
all day on MTV. Y'all
I
gotta
thought
give
this
credit.
was
Didn't Tina
ridiculous.
Turner have a residency?
No,
Well,
she was doing
did the
cabaret
cabaret
shows.
shit. But what I'm
No,
saying
she was
is
down bad.
I'm talking about after she got back to that. I think she had a residency.
maybe, but again, when I say to die, I mean that's it. Like that's the end. That's the Boyz II Men of your shit. There is nothing else.
That was
You
her
are going
last
to be
stop.
singing the rest of these songs. He is going to be
Right.
leaving the one he with and starting a new relationship. That's it, forever. Okay, like that's it. Like ain't
And
nothing
there's
else.
no expectation of
That
more
means
albums.
we also don't
You're not
need
trying
anything.
to put out videos. You're just
Exactly.
there performing the shit you already have.
He about to go. He about to break the glass
want
on his
nostalgia.
U chain.
Yeah.
He might pull a Tina Turner though. He might pull a Tina.
He not though. Don't nobody want to hear this nigga.
Didn't he try that already? Wasn't he giving us some shit called No Limit or something? And
No Limit.
And there was a limit. And there was
a limit on how long that
the limit has been reached. The limit was reached a long time ago.
And God bless him.
But anyway,
Usher sounds phenomenal. Voice is still great, but that's not
beautiful gowns.
How do y'all feel about Angela Bassett's face when Tina Turner was at the what is that, the Comic Con
and they know she was,
whatever it was. No, it wasn't about that they know she was. When they was like, did you see the movie? And Tina Turner was like, nah, I ain't see the movie.
I loved it.
She was like, I don't want to relive
appreciated that.
Yeah, that's real.
But did y'all see Angela Bassett's face though?
Her
she
face
looked a little hurt.
She was a little.
When you walk in,
when a woman, she worked out for that movie.
When a woman walks in with her boyfriend,
but you can't sign up to be the star in somebody else's fucking trauma porn and then expect them to be like, yeah, I totally watched that shit so I can relive.
I love the part when you beat your ass.
Why y'all let her make it then?
Choke me out.
Nah, it ain't about why they let her make it. For one, when a woman walk in with her boyfriend and his mama be like, "Who is you?" That's the face.
That's the look. Yeah, that's the one.
And it's sad, and maybe she could have handled it better. And been like, I haven't had a chance to see it yet, but I'm sure it's wonderful. I'm sure she could have did the PR spin and made it just be whatever. If you wanted to say some nicer shit, I'm sure she could have PR spent it into something. But the bottom line is that's still that person's life. Like that's still her life.
She was at a win-win though. It was like anything she said, Angela Bassett can't really say nothing to her because it's like you just played me in the movie, fam.
What you gonna
get sunned regardless?
Not a goddamn thing. You can't say shit to Tina Turner.
Gonna get sunned regardless.
But the fact is that a lot, like they said, like she privately is Anime Bullock, but when it comes to Tina Turner, she is a star, and the people own you. The people you don't get to have privacy, and that's what we see with a lot of stars. So your private pain is on public display. What are you supposed to do with that? She's been living that hell for years, for decades, and then they put out a movie and they want to keep asking her the same motherfucking questions about a bitch she don't care about. It was whooping her ass. I feel her. Like I don't want to hear that.
It was only the white reporters though.
How many times though after that movie came out did niggas see her in public and ask her to eat the cake though?
Exactly.
Right.
That's probably
like they probably did not let that woman have a fucking 20 minutes of rest about that shit. I'm just
glad that shit ain't come out when Twitter was out because niggas would have been tweeting that shit all day long.
Like it'd have been a mess.
Anything she tweeted, the reply would have been eat the cake, man.
That's funny. And that's terrible. That woman deals with serious trauma from that. Like she is still trying to unpack that. And they're just like, well, whatever. Where's Ike Girl? Like whenever the court was like, he got arrested for a drug possession. What are your thoughts on that? What the fuck does she care?
Yeah.
Like then she had to be like, I wish him well. I hope he is doing blessed and pleasant things. But she probably hopes that nigga dies. Like it's just
nigga.
So like, was the musical of the same story of the movie, or was that just like something different?
I don't know, but I can't imagine it.
I don't know, and I can't even imagine
what's what got to do with it as a musical.
Like,
they had Tina Turner.
Bitch, eat the cake. Bitch, eat the cake.
They call her Tina.
They call her Tina. But I
the bitch eat the cake. If they got the Oompa Loompas doing that shit, bro, that shit is gold. That shit is gold, fam.
They got the whole chorus. They got a giant cake that wheels out in the middle of that bitch, and like somebody. It's a whole thing.
They got dude in the shadow. He ain't even really on the stage, and then they go real deep and dark. He was like, "Bitch, eat the cake."
Oh my god! Like he's a fan of first.
Yeah. Hey, that's sick, man.
For some reason, did
Oprah have something to do with this as well? Because I don't understand why Oprah was in this.
Didn't she was a friend?
Because she aligns herself with black people when it's convenient.
When it's convenient.
I think what it was is that
Oprah is not her friend.
Kind of but I think Oprah was kind of in a place where Oprah was still popular, and she was coming off a book and a movie, and like they talk about in the documentary, it resonated with a lot of people, right? Because people that kind of grew up or born in that time or married in that time felt like they had to keep these things private, right? You didn't talk about the things that went on in your household. You didn't talk about outside babies. You didn't talk about abuse. You didn't talk about the fact that your husband is drinking all y'all's money away and y'all can't pay. You didn't talk about those things in mixed company.
True.
And so for her to come out and be very vocal about the abuse she suffered, I think in a way was kind of a call to arms for a lot of women that felt like they had to be silent about it because nobody was going to believe them. And like she said, if Tina Turner can survive this, then so can I. And I mean, I don't want to get all touchy, whatever, because I mean, Tina Turner's not necessarily in my age group, but I'm somebody who has survived domestic abuse. And so I can appreciate that. I can appreciate where she is coming from. And, it's all jokes, and I'm not going to be all like, oh, I'm triggered by anything we said here because I've kind of grown past that, but I get it. I understand where she's coming from in that space of I don't want to keep reliving this every single day by people that don't know me and keep asking me questions about shit that I am just trying to bury. Like, I am just trying to move forward with my life. And every time I turn around, it's the same fucking questions that I had been answering for 12 years.
That's how Chris Brown feels.
I'm 6 years removed. I'm 6 years removed and don't want to hear that shit. I definitely don't want to
Chris Brown.
Yo, why? Like,
he is sick and tired of being asked that goddamn question. He is over it. He's trying to move on and turn over a new leaf.
I will say this. Rihanna said she forgave him and moved on.
Let it go.
Yeah, actually, when Rihanna said she was over it, everybody needs to be over it. When Rihanna said she was over it,
you can't be more mad about abuse than the abuse. Like, sometimes you have to just take those.
These motherfuckers out there that take it there, though.
His cocaine use in the 97 tracks on his albums. Like, I don't really care so much about.
Like, that part is that's
let him stay on.
I'm concerned about how often he's sleeping. Like,
he's productive. He is productive. When he stop being productive, that's when we got to get him off cocaine.
Listen,
until then, let him do
he start drooling and shit.
Let him ride the white horse.
Black people stop liking Eminem the minute that man put the cocaine down.
Because nobody wants to hear nobody want to hear no white man rap about his white bag, nigga. Get out of here.
Facts.
Like you could have did that without rap. Like, what the fuck?
Like, you can't be successful and rap about it.
Nigga, I'm from Detroit, and I was still like, white boy, please.
Yeah.
because the truth of the matter is, right? We all love an underdog story, but who the fuck wants to hear about a white man? Because honestly, I hear about a poor white man, and I'm like, so you just fumbled the bag? Like, you're poor for what reason?
That's all I see.
Like,
that's all I see.
White homeless people, white poor people.
That's
I'm like, you're a white man. Like, all you have to do is be mediocre. Like, I have no.
I can't give $1. I can't give $1 to a homeless white man. Like, I can't, because like it's like, wow, like you super fumbled the bag, and I can't be
like
part
you
of that.
You gonna start the revolution.
Like, you can parlay that into nothing.
But y'all don't be around enough white people. Like, they got tiers of white people, so it's like,
oh, I know they got tiers of white people.
Yeah, so like if you ain't in that certain tier, you ain't getting there.
I live in the South. Of course, I know there are tiers of white people. That doesn't matter.
But when you up north, it's a whole. Especially if we talking about a white boy that lived in Detroit. Now, listen, I'm from there. You're not gonna make me believe that just because you lived in a trailer park, you couldn't do shit. Yeah, he probably did come from a little shitty situation. You're still a white boy.
You better walk your ass over to Goodwill. Get yourself a suit and tie from the Goodwill. Take your ass over there, put on your code switch, and get a motherfucking job, sir.
You don't take your black friends into an interview, nigga.
Exactly.
Like, what are you saying? Like,
he was rapping. You do take your black friends to the interview when you rapping. What are you talking about?
Okay, but no, we talking about he need a real job.
He was working a real job. Remember, he was in the factory. Y'all seen the movie?
Yeah, we right. Okay, can we get off of Eminem?
He was rapping in the movie.
Back to Tina.
That's not look irritated with us.
Been a manager.
We all in the same thing. But I feel like Tina Turner, man, she really is. She was that blueprint for like Beyonce. To me, that's why I see the most when I look at that offspring of those other stars. Like Mary J. Blige wasn't there yet. Like now she's at that place where like when she performs, I guess you could call that dancing. And then like
or singing. We could maybe even call that
whatever.
Singing.
You can call a lot of different things.
No, I'm not talking about the singing part. We know Mary J. Blige can sing. I'm talking about like as far as the performance.
Can
yeah, Mary J. Blige can sing.
Again, when you take
She
an
got
artist
bops
off of cocaine,
that I can sing.
Y'all ain't gonna do the queen of hip hop.
listen, the same thing. Hold on, wait. The same.
She's
thing
your
that
lover
you-
and
hold
your
on, wait, time out.
secretary.
Remember,
Every
we
day
talked
of the
Beautiful
about
boots.
we talked
Beautiful
about the
boots.
level. We talked about the
Excellent
level
boots.
of stardom, right?
Right.
You wholeheartedly brought up that you will not defend Ike's beating and all of this, but look at his musical, this, that, and the third. The whole reason that Tina was a star has to tie back to the cocaine and all the bullshit. Clearly, KC, we not gonna be like, oh, KC was pimping this shit and beating this shit out of Mary. That nigga had her on coke cracking. It's the same fucking thing. This is why, as soon as she got off coke and stopped getting her ass beat and gave us this happy ass album, we bought it out of loyalty. Nobody bumped that shit. Like,
See, she should have just kept it in the dance read and everything would have been cool. She should have kept it in the dance read. Everything would have been straight.
I agree.
I don't care.
She should have left it there and then went right back to the
jam. I don't give a fuck
persevere.
about none of that. I'm living my life
But
just
see,
fine.
to me, I think Beyonce is like that. Is that Tina Turner? Well, I ain't gonna say addict. She's probably past it now. But like to me, that's when I see Beyonce. Like that's what I see. I see that blueprint of Tina Turner.
Mm-hmm. I totally agree. Totally agree with you.
VJ, you don't agree?
I would say Michael Jackson, but I get it.
She's nowhere near Michael Jackson.
Listen, whoa.
I get wait. Okay, not near, like not stratosphere of Michael Jackson, but blueprint, right? Like child star. Like I'm not saying.
Technically,
because Beyonce didn't have no. Beyonce had no trials and tribulations in her life. Like,
right.
Like she just
what she do? What happened? Had to kick out niggas.
Her daddy left the family in the midst of in the height of their career. He broke up they group just
my
to
daddy
force
left the
her
family
to be
at the worst motherfucking economic time in my house.
Like,
what
yeah,
you
right.
What you
her daddy wanted her to be a star, and he kicked out two bitches that barely sung on the album. Oh my god! Oh,
you
so
win
much
in that
drama.
argument. I'm just saying. Listen.
Worst thing ever happened to Beyonce was being in the
height of her
video.
career.
She told the bitch to leave the booth, and it was better for her to get on a plane without her motherfucking luggage. So Beyonce got a lot of her daddy in it. Got a lot of her daddy and her sweetheart. So this bullshit about her daddy traumatizing her,
by her husband.
It's the mother of bullshit. And daddy ain't traumatized her.
By her husband, right?
Did
she? I'm
starting to believe that was just a fucking ploy.
He was
her
like
daddy taught everything she needed to motherfucking know.
She was like Tina Turner,
and that's why she kicked the bitch out the studio and told her she could get her luggage later.
Nah, forget that luggage. Look, she was in her group like Tina Turner. She was hot, and then she left her group like Tina Turner. Then built herself up to be even greater than what she was in the group.
Okay, but when nobody
doubting Beyonce. You watch the same Beyonce we watch.
When nobody doubting Beyonce. When nobody like, Beyonce too old to perform. Like the fuck?
You ain't gonna be nothing without Latavia.
Right, you're spinning the Beyonce story like any of us was like, oh, them
Beyonce was in Destiny's Child, and the joke was always that it was Destiny's children or Beyonce's children. Didn't nobody ever expect that girl to be in that group forever?
Again,
like,
this is David Ruffin.
Yes, you did.
I'm David Ruffin, and these are the Temptations. That's what we always do.
It was because of Beyonce's daddy. Beyonce's daddy is like the Ike Turner of the situation in a more unincestuous way. So listen.
Every group you've never seen break up, they all seen equal parts. This is why Don technically got kicked out of En Vogue. This is why Total never broke up. This is why motherfucking SWV never broke up. This is what girls who sing the same parts, nigga. We watched Beyonce for one. Think about this. They all a group.
Beyonce was never the best singer in the group.
I didn't say
she's
that.
Not the best singer, but she was star of the group, and everyone fucking knew
she
that.
Wasn't even the star of the group for real. They just kept putting her in front.
Who was?
Okay, baby. Okay, sweetheart.
Kelly.
Kelly Rowland was definitely the star of the group and the best singer.
Okay. We didn't. I don't really think this. Kelly really stepped in her stardom. If we talk about not writings on the wall, like she wasn't there yet. Like at all.
I mean, okay.
Yeah, Kelly was always fine.
We're not saying that. Like, we're not saying
that. We're just saying.
No, I just heard writing on the wall, and I went to a flashback. She was always fine.
And she was. She was always gorgeous.
And she was always the best singer.
And I will give you that.
It was Kelly Rowland, LaToya Luckett, and then Michelle and Beyonce could have duked it out to see who was third.
Not Michelle and Beyonce.
LaToya.
Latoya got pipes.
Latoya can sing. I had her debut
Latoya
album.
Luckett can
I
sing.
have her debut album too, but you giving her a little bit much.
No,
It's a
she
lot.
can sing better
And
than
then
Beyonce. Come on,
You
bro.
giving her a lot. Like, I'm not gonna give her second best in the fucking group. Like, goddamn. Like, yeah, that's a lot. Like, third.
Can she sing better than Michelle?
Okay, well, you and I can probably sing better than Michelle.
I need you
to
to
And she can sing better than Beyonce, so she's second.
Get your friend. Get your friend.
Her voice be a little flat sometimes, buddy. Like, I don't.
Beyonce and still got to duke it out for third. Whoever
you know
come
what?
out on top is third.
Fine. You know what? That's fine. The point here is that most people that saw Beyonce recognized that she had a star power that was going to surpass the group of people that she was making music with.
Same thing with Tina Turner.
You can say what you want to say about Matthew when he broke up with whatever the fuck, or he pushed her, or whatever. That lady was never going to be making music with Destiny Child.
Video. They didn't put Kelly in the case
Why
video.
Kelly went in the case video?
She was in
Happily Ever After. Happily Ever
After. We forget there was only light skinned girls in the 90s. Come on.
That's a lie because they all was in the 70s. I mean, all them girls from what's the name was in the 70s?
No, that's a lie. The biracial light skin takeover is recent.
It was in the song.
Dark skinned girls in the 90s videos. It was dark skinned girls.
It was in the song with Subway.
I know that, but what I'm saying, she was in the song with Case. What you saying?
That's why she was in it.
Listen, my point is,
I'll be right here.
Her daddy was ahead of the group, bro. Like, if Kelly's daddy was ahead of the group, Kelly would have been the star.
Okay, so you're strengthening the point that we're.
Nigga, who was Kelly's daddy?
Exactly.
Matthew Bowley is her daddy, so what's the
right?
I'm just saying. All I'm saying is, without Matthew knows, right?
What you got?
Beyonce don't become the star she is. Without Ike, Tina don't become the star she is.
In your defense of Kelly knew that. This is why Kelly is always like, yeah, that's my cousin. She don't do it a lot, but she does it enough to let us know that I was okay with riding this motherfucking coattail. So the defense of Kelly, like, it just don't work. Beyonce was meant to be the star. I feel you. Now the Tina Turner shit I give you.
But that's what I said. That's what I said. It seemed like she's the one that had that Tina Turner blueprint.
I'll give you that. Because the dance, some of the ways that she projects herself as an artist on stage, I can see the Tina.
That performing, man, I'm telling you, for real.
I give you that.
She can perform her ass off. Yeah.
I'll give it to you.
That's fair.
I can't believe y'all doing my girl Kelly like that. Y'all disrespectful.
We're not disrespectful. We checking the album sales, bitch.
We
like
love her. But we love her. But
album sales don't mean nothing.
We check numbers, bitch. Like Maxwell said. Like that's
white people buy albums.
If you're not gay, you miss Kelly's tracks all the time. Like if you're not in the gay clubs, if you're not in the gay clubs, you don't even hear Kelly's music. Like when do you hear
that statement? Because I don't go to gay clubs, but whatever.
But do you hear her music willingly?
No, she said it's a difference. It's a difference between you actually pressing play on your own shit as opposed.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that.
Motivation was on the radios when it came out.
Oh God, because Lil Wayne was
and you still pressing play, right?
It was. Hey,
you still listening to it?
It was still on there.
You still listening?
The one with Trey Songz, I do. The one with Trey Songz.
The one with Trey Songz.
Okay, well, all right.
Not big rich town, nigga. Like
okay.
Hey, y'all not gonna do my nigga Trey Songz like that, bro. He didn't want to do that song. He didn't want to do that song. It was a favorite for 50. It was a favorite for 50. He was like, I'll try it, but I'm telling you, they're not gonna like it. 50 That's all.
Well, he sounds like a goat, so it is what it is.
I've never seen niggas band together so quick. I don't think niggas watch that.
Now I have to go listen to whatever this is. Kelly Rowland and a goat singing motivation. Now I have to hear this.
Why you gotta be a goat?
Because that nigga sounds like a goat.
Maybe that's his style of singing.
He don't want to leave.
And I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this with y'all, man. That's
disrespectful. We're not doing this with you.
I fuck with Trigger out there, man. Trigger had all the young girls, you know what I'm saying, when he was that age doing their thing, and I was that age too, and I was like, yo, I know how to get them. And it was Trey Songz. Trey Songz helped me out from 2007 to 2010.
What did he help you do?
You know,
I'm not going to tell you on this platform. But let me put it like this. The neighbors knew my name.
So you were just listening to Trey.
It was a whole bunch of Jupiter love going on. It was a whole bunch of Jupiter love going on.
Not the super duper Jupiter love.
You know what I'm saying?
Actually, that's his best song. That's his best song.
Yeah, you want to know the one thing about Trey Songz? Like I
am deeply sad by this information.
I couldn't think of another song title. I was trying to come back to
niggas was just fucking Trey Songz. I am sad. I'm so like I am sad. Like I am disturbed. Like I want to hang this goddamn StreamYard the fuck up. Like what? The fuck?
You are not gonna shame me right now.
I did. Shaming works, sweetheart. Maybe you'll stop listening to goats. Like, I don't know what you want me to say. Shaming works.
What else was I supposed to listen to?
Yeah,
I don't fucking know.
I mean, think about it like this. It could be worse. Niggas was fucking to Pretty Ricky.
I'm not listening to Tina Turner trying to get some
niggas was listening to what?
You trying to kill the night?
I mean,
I don't like music,
I can let the Trey go because
anyway.
Niggas used to fuck to Pretty Ricky. Like I've heard, like niggas. People used to fuck to not me, but I know people that definitely did.
Music, though.
Like,
they were fucking. They were humping ottomans to Pretty Ricky, so that's not really anything. Like they were just doing everything.
That's what turned the party up right there. As soon as Pretty Ricky come on, turn the light off.
That was a weird time in music history.
That's a difference in generation because if Pretty Ricky was the type of shit that would have came on at our like high school or young adult parties, niggas would have been like, who the fuck got the fucking aux cord or whatever the fuck like this? Come on, man.
Hold on, wait a minute. Penrose, how old are you?
But I was listening in the car with my friends and we were singing along and like laughing because the lyrics were bad. Like,
right,
oh my God.
I'll tell you my age. The nigga that did it for me when I was in the club at a young age trying to be that nigga was Dream. I Love Your Girl. That was my song. Nigga, I'm taking your girl. Yeah, bitch. Oh, man, listen. Dream was that nigga for me.
Little mama so fly. Hey.
So I'm assuming you like mid 30s, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm a little bit younger than you then. So listen.
Okay, it makes sense because we were like, what?
The Dream is different. The Dream was riding music. The Dream wasn't club music for me because I wasn't listening to Take Your Girl. I was listening to Playing in Her Hair. So I feel the Dream
Purple Kisses, nigga.
Purple Kisses was that shit.
That's my favorite.
Purple Kisses was shit.
Flashbacks. Don't do this.
Come on, man. But I'm saying when you in the basement. When you in the basement at somebody's house, you know what I'm saying, and they got that different color light bulb in there.
H-Town. We had H-Town, and so I get what you mean in the sense of that music. But Pretty Ricky sucked, bro. Pretty Ricky sucked.
No, I was very little. I was very small when
I was like, wait a minute,
man,
what
listen.
the fuck?
If y'all was playing H-Town,
I'm talking about H-Town. No, not at the club. No, you said in the basement party.
Oh, in the basement party? If you was playing H-Town in the basement party, y'all was desperate.
In 94?
That was like last call. No. This is like 2000 something. He talking about.
No, I'm not. No. Yeah, my basement parties. My high school age was in the 90s.
But you were listening to H-Town.
Okay, well that's cool then. Yeah, no, that's cool. Like my high school parties was in like 2000s. That's what I'm saying. From 2007 to 2010. Yo, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Aww.
Yeah, I'm young.
Yeah.
Okay, y'all ain't gotta do that though. I still listen to H-Town and all that. I'm just saying. When I was in the basement, that's what they were playing. I didn't have to, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, look, he's a baby.
Wow.
The niggas get to talking about I remember being a young nigga in rooms and niggas be talking about certain old school. You know, niggas talk about old school. Everybody know the music. And then niggas bring up that one shit like, you remember the first time you heard an old nigga talk about Portrait? And you're like, who the fuck is they talking? Well, I guess that was around when I was young, though. You know
Portrait?
Are you 45, nigga?
Like, you being real old right now, Penrose. Like,
no, I never heard of Portrait.
No, I was like 9 or 10 when Portrait was the shit. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah,
like,
I definitely ain't.
My dad played that shit at like, that's what I'm saying, right? I only know it because that was the shit when my
H-Town
father
came out in like 94. I was listening to no H-Town and no party. Like, what?
Oh, nah, I definitely was, John.
I grew up listening to funk music too, though. So, like, at the barbecues, that's all they would play. So, like, we never got to hear Snoop unless he came on like MTV or we was at like the older cousin's house.
Right.
So it was always Parliament, and then it was always Roger and Zapp and all them, and Slave and Ohio Players and all that shit. So,
hey, yo, when y'all was young, was
don't
it
talk about the school, Chris.
Was it certain songs you couldn't sing when you was young? Like,
My mom bought me.
Oh my God,
mom bought me the Subway
couldn't sing.
702 cassette.
Not even
I
that.
was never supposed to listen to that shit.
I couldn't
Nah,
sing.
my mom
It
didn't
take a
know.
fool. Remember, it take a fool to learn love. Don't love nobody. I was.
You
not,
couldn't say fool?
I couldn't. No, I just couldn't sing. My daddy was like, "You don't understand what love." I think he was drunk that day.
Yeah, that's what that sound like.
You don't
That's
understand what
sound
love
like.
do to you. You can't
So you can't sing that. I couldn't sing Funktified because we couldn't say funk. And so, listen, let me tell y'all what we did. So we got a cassette tape, and I went to a sleepover at my friend next door's house, and we went into the kitchen after everybody was asleep and like put the cassette in and like hella was and like turned it on like hella low. Nigga snuck. And we was like, we was in the kitchen.
Party?
We was in the kitchen like we was in the kitchen like.
Y'all snuck to have a rat-a-tat-tat party.
And her grandma still heard it. I was like, what the fuck? I had to go home and some more shit. I was like,
hey, yo, did they ever change that up in y'all church to So Sanctified? Was I the only one that heard that?
No.
I've never heard that.
Yeah. You know that
was one of the reasons I left the church. I was like, bro, I'm not going back there.
You gotta be so sanctified.
They
I went to church with old people, so no, but
they kept messing up all the hits. So I was like,
everybody in my church was old, so that didn't happen. My mama was like the original Issa Rae. She was rooting for everybody black, so she would like just go into the store and buy whatever had black people on it. So like I literally had like the NWA album, and I was like 10. Like she didn't.
Amazing.
I feel you.
She didn't know. Like she really had no fucking clue, so she would just pick whatever had black people on the front. So
I had TLC. Ooh, on the what was that? Ooh, on the
TLC.
I was not supposed to have that album.
No.
Once I got older and realized they were just talking about having safe sex, I was like, man, I shouldn't have been singing none of that shit as a kid.
Wait, the Exhale soundtrack.
I mean, it was safe.
No, I
my
never
car
had that.
talking about this in the car, talking about this is how it works. My mom was looking at me like,
do you still watch that movie? Do you still watch that movie?
Wait till
but in the Exhale?
Yeah.
No.
I'm so glad for y'all. Thank goodness. So proud of y'all. Moving on. That's what I'm talking about. Don't go back and watch it. Stay away from that. That's trauma.
I didn't see it as an adult, so I'm not really.
You know what I'm saying?
I live somewhere like very small town, so it's one of those places where like black movies didn't play in the theaters. My parents like drove to Houston to see it. Like we didn't. It didn't.
Oh, you in Texas?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Okay.
So it didn't even come to theaters where I lived at the point. So like they drove, like her and her friends all like got in the car with the 2 hours to Houston to watch it in the theater. Like it was a whole girls' day out or whatever.
Yeah, nah.
Get
They
out,
don't make movies like that no more.
Get out, bye.
They really
Bye.
So
I don't even know where we at. I think we should like.
I think that's a wrap, man. Tina Turner.
She found love with a white man.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Can I just say how like it touched my heart a little bit? Like how they don't give me that. Okay, I know it's a white man.
I'm not getting
No, it's Scoots. It's Scoots down there looking at me, y'all crazy. No, but like I know it's a white man, y'all. But like it really like touched my heart, like the way that they met and like how like I feel like he really loved her. Like it feels very genuine.
I mean, it's real
sounds
cute,
like
but
it.
if I gotta find love with one of the little Caucasians, it probably ain't gonna happen. But I mean,
I don't think I'm not the black girl Caucasians be really fucking with. I don't think like.
I think you kind of are. You gotta find the right one.
Nah, look, I feel like he did. My man's did the same thing that Serena husband did, man. Like white dudes that like black girls that are in certain positions or fulfill certain roles. And I'll just say that.
I agree, but I ain't gonna lie to you. I feel like deep down inside, Tina Turner wanted to be white.
Oh, I'm out.
Okay. Why? Because of the rock and roll?
Because she wanted to do rock and roll.
She instantly went to rock and roll.
She was,
and then all of a sudden she just started getting around like all these white folks. Like you ain't see no niggas in her circle for like a long time, and then she started kicking it with Oprah too. So that let me know, like, yeah, the
background dancers,
in there.
Listen, she was doing them R&B tracks, and them people sitting there talking about this shit was white and blonde, talking about, yeah, I used to be her background dancer, and I was punching her in the eye, and we just were all quiet about it, and it was a thing, but I just kept doing my kicks and
in the 50s and 60s, she had white background dancers? Nah.
Everybody was white. They were just white. Everybody was white. Then she was on the cabaret in Vegas. They was all white. Honestly, I didn't want to say
it. That's when the white ones came. That's when the white ones
because I was like, why are there so many white people here? I had questions.
Y'all not wrong, nigga. Like,
there's a lot of white people for it to be like, there's a lot of white people in that documentary, and I was like,
And then did y'all see how they tried to set it up though? Like, so if you were looking for a man, what would he be? She was like, he would have to wear the pants, but not dominate me, and then he would have to accept me just for who I am. And then all of a sudden, it just was the white man that just so-called saved him.
And then she was saying that shit about how she went to London and she felt like she had always been there and that's where she was supposed to be.
Oh, yeah, like she was supposed to always be in London. Okay, all right, y'all.
She wanted to be the white woman in front of
London was not racist back then. I'm just saying they didn't like niggas.
First of all, I just got done watching Top Boy for the second time. It's definitely black people in Britain.
Well, yeah, but the racists over there.
They all African immigrants.
No
matter.
They're
all in Nigeria, in Uganda, and in the Congo. That's what they all.
They don't like them. Like they're immigrants. They don't like immigrants over there.
They don't. But I mean, shit. Our people was from fucking different African countries. It just happened at a different time.
Most of us was already over here, bro. We was already over here.
I am a person that subscribes to that thought a lot.
We was already over here.
No,
some of us were already over here.
I won't argue that fact. I won't argue that fact that if you really do your research, you can find black Mexicans, original black Americans, all of that shit. I give you that. I'm just saying in the sense of how we are discussing Africans entering the UK and also just versus what we know about the Atlantic slave trade. Yeah, I won't argue that. Hell yeah, it was black people over here. Now, and we ain't got to get into that. The funny conversation is trying to have that conversation with a black person that you might not be African black. You might just already been here black.
Yeah,
niggas get mad.
Native black.
Ooh, niggas get mad. But anyway.
Yeah, I found out I was native black. That's why I'm light skinned. I thought it was because, you know what I'm saying, some other stuff, but I was wrong.
I mean, my family doesn't track anywhere past Arkansas. That's on some real life shit.
I feel you. We tracked our shit to Africa though. And I some of that shit I'd be like, maybe they just blowing smoke in your ass when you get so far. But like,
nah, you gotta check them old Indian papers and reservations and all that shit too.
On my mother's side, now that's where that shit trace. My daddy's side, you can trace that shit to Africa. My mother's side, that shit don't leave out America. Facts. That's facts.
I guess I don't know my dad's side for real, but like my mom's side, like we don't go past Arkansas, bro. Like
I feel you. Yeah, my mom's side, we don't go past. And some people in Alabama, and there's a lot of people that's like Michigan, Nebraska, that like the main Midwest states. So
yeah, but a lot of my family is my dad's side is all Boule, so they all in like the Masons and Eastern Stars and all that, and we don't talk to them like that. And then my mom's side, that's the side.
I won't talk to them like that.
Nah, I won't fuck with them.
I was an Eastern Star.
Hey, my people was Eastern Stars and Masons. Yeah,
they real bougie. They don't fuck with us like that. But you know what I'm saying, they look out for you if you're in trouble though. But my mom's side, they all, you know what I'm saying, like from Georgia and all them parts, South Carolina, and like the Geechee Gully and all that. Or Gullah or all that, so you know what I'm saying, it's dope, man. But yeah, she definitely wanted to be a white woman. So I feel like that's a strong point to leave off.
It felt like she was trying to assimilate into something, and I didn't want to be the person to be like, oh my god, but it was just it's very cringy. Like it wasn't enough black people.
I just wanted to point that out. We can't leave that out because you know what I'm saying. The fact that they did my man Ike like that, we gotta slander Tina somewhat.
Well, her mom was fucked up too. We ain't talk about her fucked up ass mom.
Nah, see, that's different though, because I feel like with her mom's situation, like her mom was going through what she was going through without the fame. And I think that when she left, I think she left for the best, because I think it could have been a possibility of her either breaking down mentally and hurting them, or her possibly dying. And I mean, I think if anything, her dad just wasn't shit.
Yeah, I can see that part, and the actual correlation. My mama getting her ass beat. It's like, let me leave. because they never really say that daddy didn't love them. So sometimes you got that parent that'll leave because of the trauma and be like, at least I know these kids, they still gonna be good. You see what I'm saying? So I can kind of feel that.
Because even her mom, when her mom,
they weren't good.
Mom was saying how proud of her.
They weren't, but
and then they weren't good. That nigga was like, "Oh shit, I gotta take care of these little motherfuckers and dip." Like that.
I don't think that's what it is. I don't think that's what it was. I think that just like any abusive person and narcissistic person, when she left, he was like, "Let me go back and get her and bring her back because I'm not done yet."
Could have been real shit.
Yeah.
Hence, you all seen the breastplate, the helmet of salvation, and the breastplate of righteousness. Goddamn it!
Yeah, that's
not the breastplate of righteousness.
No, whatever she said. Yo, I ain't gonna front. I gotta dip out. I gotta. I don't want to. Was we about to?
Yeah, we got to sign off.
Okay, all right, better.
Sign off. You go ahead, sign off, and then we'll finish it up.
No doubt. I appreciate y'all, man. For everybody listening on Penrose Eames, come see me when y'all can. This was beautiful. I appreciate y'all having this. So I'll check in with y'all in a minute.
All right, see you later.
Thank you.
For sure. Peace.
Chris, you can go ahead, go next.
Oh, hey guys, it's me, Khris. Shenanigans with Friends. It is a weekly recap, basically of all the crazy shit that I found interesting in the news world. You guys can follow me on Facebook at Shenanigans Podcast, IG Shenanigans_podcast, Twitter at SW Friends Pod. Right on the screen is my personal Twitter. If you guys are into that, that's cool. And then I guess I could do the all docked up stuff. Twitter is all docked up. That's ALLDOCDUP. And then IG is all docked up pod. Again, docked is spelled DOCD. And thanks so much for having me. It's always fun with you, Scoots.
Of course. Crazy. Thank y'all for being on. VJ, what's up? What's going on?
Well, you can find me a couple of places. My solo pod is Murder V Wrote. So you can find me at Murder V Pod on Twitter and also on Instagram. That is a show I've taken a hiatus because I've been working on some school-related shit, but we'll be back soon. So yeah, that is weekly podcast where I just kind of talk about murders and serial killers, interesting true crime cases that I come across, and try to give kind of some some background about those and kind of give some levity to the topic. I do another podcast, Chopping It Up with Q podcast. So shout out to Q. We are biased.
He's been poking out. He's been poking his head out. I'm excited.
So yeah, we've been kind of like we've been on hiatus as well because he's been, we've been coding and he had a baby and a few other things. So yeah, so we'll be back at it. But you can catch us at Chopping It Up pod on Twitter, and so we don't have an IG. I don't have my personal Twitter, but that's normally where I am talking shit about some shit that doesn't probably really matter, and that's at VJ_Burton, and that's across all platforms.
Dope. I noticed you said that you do a podcast on serial killers. My man S. is also a serial killer aficionado, so I think y'all might have to link up and make something happen one day.
Yo, you gotta listen to her show, bro. She's giving you ID channel level descriptions of the things she's talking about. The way that's honestly she's a super close friend of mine in the podcast world, but totally why I chose her for All Docked Up because the way that she tells stuff is just so fucking amazing. So.
You know what? And as that is the same way. This dude he did a podcast on slasher films. But he was naming each of the slashers and giving you all these facts, and he didn't write none of this shit down. He was doing all of that shit off memory. So I was like, yeah, that's why I chose him to do Views Anonymous as well, because he got a great memory when it comes to movies and television shows and shit like that. So yeah, he
definitely have a link. I would love to have you on the show. I have not had a guest yet, so I would be delighted to have you on as a guest to talk murder with me.
I could do that. Hit me up. Hit me up. I'm definitely down with it, man. Scoots know how I get down when it comes to stuff like that.
That's what's up.
Dope.
And then as that, man, I want to thank you, for holding it down and starting really everything up because I had to go through that with dude from the Bad News Bears. I forgot the coach name from the Bad News Bears. But you know what I'm saying? Yeah, listen. This nigga was Keanu Reeves from the first half of Hardball, bro. Like,
no, he's not the
bad, bro. Yeah, it's
oh my god.
And there was no video, with them winning the championship at the end. But you go ahead, S. Dot, man. You know what I'm saying? Let them know. I know I usually go first, but you know what I'm saying? I feel like it's only right to let you go ahead and take this one over, bro.
Now you can find me at the Stolen Time Podcast on Facebook, the Stolen Time Pod on Instagram, S.Foster8 on Instagram and Twitter. I don't think I'm gonna put out a 28 minutes or less podcast this week. That's the one I do solo. And Stolen Time Podcast. There probably won't be one this week. Shout out to my co-host, Uncle Washington. He's still going through his health problems, so I don't know when he's going to be back on the Stolen Time Podcast. But just still. So what?
I was just saying, I hope he gets well soon.
Oh, appreciate that. And me and Scoops do the Viewers Anonymous podcast, which be on now. Go check out the VA Podcast Watch Group page. We're trying to grow that page. We got an IG page that should be coming soon. Waiting on Scoops to get that together. But other than that, you know what I'm saying? We still rocking.
Yes, sir. Man, y'all already know, man. Follow me on Twitter at Scoops Bronson, on Instagram, Scoops Bronson _TV. On the YouTube, Scoops Bronson TV. That's where you can find all of the videos for Viewers Anonymous. And we got the link tree up on the Facebook group, so go there, check that out. Instagram should be up by the end of this week. I had to make sure I got the right email and everything for it, so we didn't get confused with somebody else. Y'all be sending the emails to the wrong people. That's not a good look. I had that happen one time, and that's trust me, that's really not a good look. But yeah, just make sure, you know what I'm saying, you guys follow us. You can also check me out on my other podcast, 15 Minutes of Fame. We just did one, me and Khris just did one on the TV show Them from Amazon Prime. We had a lot of fun. It was the same. It's pretty much the same like you just heard here. I'll laugh.
Yeah.
We got to some of the show, but it was mostly laughs. But you know what I'm saying, last but not least, I want to thank you guys for jumping on. I know it was a whole bunch of stuff going on today, and I appreciate you guys for coming through. You know what I'm saying, y'all go check out All Docked Up. They did I just put an episode out today that I'm still listening to.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, at this point, like the way that we interact with each other visually, like the audio is just not even like, it's really the YouTube channel.
No, it's actually good though. Like, it's not that bad when you're listening to it. Yeah, because like I listen to all my pods at work. So like I be in the middle of cutting some stuff, and I gotta stop cutting so I can laugh. So I don't, you know, so like put a hand off or something. So yeah, I told you that Bayou Blue episode was crazy. So
that was a good one.
Yeah, y'all make sure y'all go check out All Docked Up, man. And y'all know how it is. Like they say in Hollywood, it's a wrap.
Bye. See you guys. Thanks for having us.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.